flavor. And they give you all their whole wheat goodness in every crispy bite. So if you choose to sit on the back steps eating Wheaties out of the box, it's your very own business. We won't complain. You'll still get that whole wheat and all the nourishment in it. Eat Wheaties any way you like it, but eat 'em often. So good. Wheaties. Breakfast of champions, that is.
You can't keep a finger on a city's pulse without having some of its sweat and tears rub off on you. But sometimes the difference between turning a corner or going straight ahead, opening a door or passing it by, is all that separates safety from danger, horror from happiness, or life from death. Tonight, the difference lay in whether I should or should not get a shave before starting on my nightly tour of duty. I decided on the shave. Usually I go to a barber shop on the 5th floor of the Conway building in the heart of the Loop. By the time I got there, however, it was after 6 and the elevator operators had all gone. 2 of the lifts were still operating on a self-service basis, so I got in one and pushed the button for the 5th floor. The elevator was almost to the 4th floor level when a sudden yelling drew my attention to the little window in the elevator door. I pressed the emergency stop. A tall, thin-faced man had been lunging at someone out of vision. If there was ever murder on a man's face, it was on his.
I saw you talking to the FBI. You told them. I didn't. I was only trying to help you.
I brought the elevator down to the floor level without stopping to think what I might be getting myself into. When the doors opened, I saw them rolling around the corridor ahead in a desperate struggle. The tall man was on top, his left hand flailing at the other's face with a briefcase, while with his right he was trying to drive a long, thin blade into the other's chest.
Help! Don't holler, please!
Hey, drop that knife! The human beanpole saw me coming and scrambled to his feet.
So he told you to, huh? He told you.
Look, pal.
I'll kill him.
Take it easy.
Take your hands off me. I'll kill you.
He slashed at my face. As I threw up my arm, the point of his blade snagged in my sleeve and jerked out of his hands. He darted for the elevator, and I ran after him in the best tradition of Frank Merriwell saving the game for dear old Yale. My form may have been all-American, but my flying tackle was all wet. His heel caught me in the head, and I fell on my face, lost in the stars.
Are you hurt?
Oh, no, I'm just stupid. Every time I try to borrow trouble, I always find my credit's good.
Here, let me help you up. I'm terribly sorry.
Oh, thank you. I'm all right. How about you?
No, he didn't hurt me.
Well, he was sure trying. He a friend of yours?
Will you come into my office and let me dress that bruise on your cheek? I'm Dr. Reichel.
Well, I'm Randy Stone. You better give the police a ring right away. That fella's a maniac. Who is he, anyway?
Oh, he's one of my patients. That's my office over there.
Now, one moment. Let's not forget our evidence. This knife he dropped.
Well, it isn't a knife. It's a letter opener. He took it off my desk.
A letter opener?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's different. What was he trying to do? Open you with it?
Oh, now, please, come in. I'll put something on that bruise and try to explain.
Thank you.
Let's see. A little methylate should fix that up.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how deeply I appreciate what you did.
Oh, it was nothing. He was only trying to kill you.
Will you hold still a moment? There. You see, the man is my patient, a disordered personality.
Are you an alienist, Doctor?
Yes, my field is psychiatry.
Well, from what I saw, your patient is more than a disordered personality. He's a homicidal maniac.
And I'm Mr. Stone.
Well, aren't you going to call the police? Or do I have to?
Oh, please. No, what happened was just an accident.
An accident? This hole in my sleeve wasn't made by Moz, Doctor. He tried to knife me, too, remember?
Well, only because he identified you with me. Now, it's not too unusual in a case of this sort for a patient to transfer his persecution complexes against the doctor who is treating him.
Oh, yes, but...
But what happened tonight is entirely my fault. I was so encouraged over certain other developments that I overlooked the extent of his immediate hysteria.
So, what happens if he comes back and kills you? Do you get a medal?
No, he won't try. Not again. I can assure you. But all I ask is that you don't report this incident. To have him arrested would destroy my chances of curing the poor fellow. Now, you won't, will you?
Well, Okay, Doc, you probably know what you're doing, I hope. Who is he, anyway? What's his name?
Ah, no, Mr. Stone. Please. I'm sorry.
Okay, Doc. They say a guy is only as big as the things that annoy him. And he's kind of tough when the annoyance is 6'4" and has a knife that makes him even bigger. Well, it just goes to show you. A few seconds earlier, a few seconds later, I'd have gone right up and had a shave from a barber. As it was, I arrived just in time for a close shave at the hands of fate. She was at my elbow again, I guess, when I took the elevator back down into the lobby. Only this time, fate was in the flesh, and a lot of it.
Oh, excuse me. Hey, you dropped this, yes?
What?
This briefcase. I was cleaning him back when I see you come in. When I come out, this briefcase is lying by the elevator. I just finished cleaning, so I know it's not here before. It's yours?
Harlan Matthews.
Huh?
I'm just looking at the name stamped on the leather. No, it isn't mine, but I know whose it is. It's one of Dr. Reichel's patients upstairs. I'll be glad to go up again and bring it to him.
Oh, thank you. I'm late finishing here already.
Harlan Matthews. I'd heard the doctor call him Harlan. It was the same man and the same briefcase he'd been using to bash Dr. Reichel over the head. As the elevator doors opened on the 4th floor, the doors of another elevator slammed shut and started down. I found Dr. Reichel's office locked and the light out. Obviously, he'd just left. I went down to the street level again, but the city had swallowed him up. I looked inside the briefcase. It contained a heavy album of foreign stamps belonging to Harlan Matthews. A phone book in the corner drugstore showed 2 numbers for Matthews, his home and his business. I tried his home.
Hello?
I'd like to speak to Harlan Matthews.
Oh, he's not in. Is there any message?
Is this Mrs. Matthews?
Yes.
Your husband left a briefcase in the Conway building
The
and...
Conway building. Have you seen him there? This isn't Dr. Reichel, is it?
No, Mrs. Matthews. My name is Stone. However, I did see your husband at Dr. Reichel's office just a little while
Well,
ago.
I just phoned there.
Well, you must have just missed him.
Well, where is Harlan now? He's coming home, isn't he?
Have you tried his office?
Well, there's no answer. Isn't he coming home?
Well, that I don't know. Dr. Reichel may be able to tell you.
Oh, I've been trying to get him at his home for the last 2 hours. He never keeps his office open this late. I just called him on the bare chance that he might be there.
Oh. Mrs. Matthews, why does your husband hate Dr. Reichel?
Oh, well, Harlan is sick. He doesn't know what he's saying.
Well, then, what does he imagine?
I don't know. I don't know. He won't tell me. It's since the war. It's something to do with the war, something that happened. I don't know what it is. He's sick.
Yes, of course, Mrs. Matthews. Well, I'll drive over with the briefcase. I just called to be sure that somebody'd be home. The Matthews lived in a small apartment on the north side. I'd barely touched the doorbell before I heard her footsteps, almost running to open it.
Oh.
She was a faded little woman just this side of middle age. Behind her in a crib, a baby was crying. Mrs. Matthews, I'm Randy Stone. The briefcase...
Mr. Stone, I need help.
What's wrong, the baby?
No, it's Harlan. He just phoned. He's at his office. The way he talked, I think he's going to kill himself. Please, you're a friend of his, aren't you? You've just got to stop him.
All right, where's your telephone?
Why?
Well, the police can get to him a lot quicker than we can.
No. No, he warned me that if I sent Dr. Reichel to the police, he'd kill them and himself.
Well, okay, then, let's go.
Oh, my baby.
If we're not too late already.
Oh, I can't. My baby is so sick. I just can't leave her. I can't.
All right, Mrs. Matthews, it's all right. You stick here. I'll handle it. Harlan Matthews' business address was a 3rd-floor shop in a 3rd-class shopping district. The dry goods store on the street level was still open for business. Its long awning still hung over the sidewalk in memory of the recent May Day sunshine. The windows above it were all dark, except one on the 3rd floor. The lettering on it read, H. Matthews, Stamps Bought and Sold. I climbed 2 flights to the 3rd-floor landing. The doors of the stamp emporium were half open. Inside, Harlan Matthews was seated at a desk, his thin, bloodless face seeming to stare straight at me. But the light was in his eyes, and I knew he couldn't see too much. Not until I got inside, anyway. Hello, Mr. Matthews.
Yes, what is it?
I found a briefcase with your name on it.
Huh? Well, where is it?
Your wife has it. I gave it to her.
You came here just to tell me that?
Well, not entirely.
Oh, I see. She sent you here.
Well, look, Mr. Matthews, you have a... Keep your hands on the desk. Don't do it. Drop it. Drop that gun.
Let go! Let go, you fool! I'm using the gun on myself!
You're not using it on anybody. Drop it. Drop it! I'll take that. Sorry I had to hurt you, Matthews, but you're a lot better off alive than dead, believe me.
Why, so you can arrest me?
Arrest you? What makes you think I'm a cop?
Don't think I'm so blind that I didn't recognize you when you came in here. You tried to jump me at Reichel's office tonight. Waiting out in the corridor. You think I didn't know what was going on? That Reichel had ratted on me.
You've got the doc all wrong.
Oh, I have I? As if I couldn't see through this stupid act of yours. You and Dr. Reichel trying to help me, too, aren't you? All I have to do is talk, don't I? Just relax and talk. Well, what would you like to hear?
Look, friend, you don't have to tell me a thing.
Yes, why repeat what you know already? Dr. Reichel's already told you everything I ever confided in him. What do you want, a written confession that I shot Captain Claney in the back? Well, I did. Write it down. I'll sign it. Is that what you want?
If you don't mind.
Details? You like details?
Look,
May 6, 1943, 2 days before we took Tunis, out in patrol. Write it down. I hated him. He was a lousy dog, arrogant, insulting. All right, there it is. Motive, time, place, everything. You satisfied?
No, I'm just tired. If you feel like talking, talk to the police, not me. I never saw either you or Dr. Reichel before tonight. My name is Stone. I'm with the Star. If you doubt it, pick up the phone and find out.
The papers? Reichel told the papers?
Well, you get this into your head and you'll have it in a nutshell. Reichel never told anybody. All I know is what you've just spouted. You sit here like a broken-down ham, dramatizing yourself, dreaming up things that never happened, making like a martyr, feeling sorry for yourself, leaving your wife at home, worried sick about you. You got a family to think of. Now, go on and get your coat. I'm taking you home.
I guess maybe you're right. I've been acting like a fool, haven't I? I'm sorry.
You'll feel lots better in the morning, Mr. Matthews. Now, come on, let's go.
Yeah. I'll put things away first. May I have my gun?
You better let me keep it for a while.
Oh, you don't have to worry, Mr. Stone. Not anymore. This note on the table, I was writing it to my wife when you arrived, telling her goodbye. Well, I've changed my mind about dying.
Well, we all have our bad days. Shall we go?
Yeah. My gun, please. Oh, it's all right, really.
Well, okay. Here, I've taken out the cartridges. Souvenirs, you know.
Thank you. I'll put away these catalogs. Would you mind closing that window for me?
I walked over to the big window facing the street. It was wide open from the bottom. I reached up to close it just as a soft footstep sounded close behind me.
Try to
And
trap
Matthews
me, huh?
pushed me over the sill toward the street below.
General Mills is bringing you Night Beat, starring Frank Lovejoy as Randy Stone.
You know, this talk about breakfast of champions is the real thing. Jackie Robinson does eat Wheaties. So does Tommy Henrik. So does Mel Parnell. So does Bob Feller. And so does a gentleman named Mr. V.O. Hill, 1445 Massachusetts Avenue Northwest in Washington, D.C. Now, Mr. Hill is not a nationally famous figure, but he is a champion just the same. On January 7th of this year, he was playing golf at the Rock Creek course. At the 11th hole, Mr. Hill made a 148-yard drive against a pretty stiff wind and made a hole-in-one. You think he wasn't a champion for a while there? Brother. And I'm standing here telling you Mr. Hill eats Wheaties. He does. Says he eats them regularly. They're whole wheat, you know. There's a lot of energy in whole wheat. It's the kind of energy you need, whether you're dealing with a baseball bat or a golf club or a vacuum cleaner. Get your Wheaties come breakfast time and see if you don't have a better morning. Wheaties, milk, fruit. Breakfast of champions. It's for you, too.
And now, back to Night Beat and Randy Stone.
Life, they say, is a continual process of getting used to things we hadn't expected. Like, for instance, getting pushed out of a guy's office window. I hadn't figured Harlan Matthews was that far off the beam, but that, of course, was my fault. From a character as neurotic as Matthews, I should have expected anything.
Where'd that fella...
I guess I was out more than a couple of minutes because when I came to, a cop had evidently just arrived on the scene. Voices crowded through my head against a backdrop of pain. I stared up at the moon shining brightly through a huge rip in the awning, and I tried to push myself up to a sitting position. The cop bent over me.
Easy now, easy. I'll call an ambulance.
Wait a minute. Get Matthews.
Who?
Harlan Matthews, stamp dealer, 3rd floor. He pushed me.
Matthews, eh? Just wait here.
I took inventory of my legs and arms and found them in usable condition. I climbed to my feet. People crowded around, their voices blending in an unintelligible jumble of questions. I staggered through them toward the cab. Their faces swarmed about me, white and staring like faces in a nightmare. I reached out, found the door handle of my car. I opened it and got in. I sat there for a while, trying to reassemble my wits. My head throbbed with pain and my mouth was dry. I wanted a cold drink more than anything I could think of. So I found my keys and drove to the first drugstore I came to. It was the sight of the phone that made me remember Mrs. Matthews. She'd be anxious to know what happened. I had to tell her something. I rang her number.
Hello?
Mrs. Matthews, it's Randy Stone.
What happened? He didn't...
No. I got there in time.
Oh, thank God. Where is he?
Well, I thought he'd be home by now.
But he isn't. When did he leave?
Not long ago.
Oh, when you left him, was he all right?
Oh, yeah, he was just swell. You ought to see me.
What?
I'll tell you what. I'll call Dr. Reichel right now and tell him the situation. He should be...
Oh, I got a call from Dr. Reichel just a little while ago.
Yeah?
That is, it came through a message service. They want Harlan to call Dr. Reichel right away. I called the doctor's office to find out why, but the doctor's not there. He's not at home either.
Well, why does Reichel want to see him? Didn't they tell you?
No. The message just said that it was very important.
I invested another nickel in the call to Dr. Reichel's office. There was no answer, so I sat down at the counter and had a cup of coffee. I felt somewhat better by now, although my head still throbbed, and I still found it hard to unscramble my thoughts. I went back to the phone booth and called Dr. Reichel's home. Perhaps he'd returned by now.
What is it, please? Dr. Reichel residence?
Has Dr. Reichel come in yet?
No, Dr. Reichel not here now.
Look, has there been anybody at the house to see him within the last hour or so?
No visitor. Too late. You call tomorrow, maybe. Yes? Goodbye.
I checked with Mrs. Matthews once again to see if Matthews had returned yet. He was still missing. However, since my last call, the police had dropped in. They wanted to talk to him about pushing someone out of a window. Someone who'd driven away from the scene without leaving his name, address, or license number.
You were with him, Mr. Stone. He couldn't have done it.
Oh, yes. Utterly fantastic. You'd better try to get some sleep, Mrs. Matthews. I'll ring you if I locate him. Good night. I headed out toward Dr. Reichel's residence on the northwest side, wondering just how foolish I was not to send the police out instead. Matthews did more than just pass from mania to depression. He'd made the round trip. The doc had been looking for him, but now he could be looking for the doc. I stepped on the gas. It was quite a drive to Dr. Reichel's home. When I got there, it turned out to be a sizable estate with an impressive driveway curving through the moonlit grounds. The dark hulk of a battered sedan stood parked near the head of the walk that led to the veranda steps. I pulled up behind it. I got out, and I gave it the once-over. I touched the top of the radiator. It was still warm. A parade of maples lined the paved walk. Ahead, the house stood dark and still. I lifted my hand to the doorbell.
Don't.
Well, hello, Matthews. Kind of thought you might be around.
What are you doing here, Mr. Stone?
When I hit the pavement, I kept bouncing until I finally landed out here.
I hardly expected to find you quite the same as when I left you.
Oh, I'm not. I'm smarter. Next time I get that gun you're holding, I'll know enough not to give it back to you.
Next time? There isn't going to be a next time, Mr. Stone. Not for you or for your Confederate, the doctor.
Oh, yeah, of course. You could be faking. I took the cartridges out of that thing once.
Yeah, so you did. I might have forgotten to reload it. Why don't you try to take it away from me and find out? Well, come on. Is it loaded or isn't it? Make me show you.
Well, if I did, it might arouse the neighborhood, don't you think? You might not be able to hang around here waiting for Dr. Reichel.
Yes, Mr. Stone, I've already thought of that, or you'd have been dead by now. Unless, of course, the gun isn't loaded. I'm willing to let you force me to show you. All you have to do is take one step toward me. Just one step, Mr. Stone. One single step. And you'll know the answer.
Before I do, maybe you could give me some other answers. Answers to a few things I still don't understand.
Indeed? What, for instance?
Well, for one thing, I still don't understand just what good it'll do you to kill either Dr. Reichel or me.
You know the answer to that, you and him both.
I wish I did.
He said he was my friend. That it would help me if I talked, so I told him. Then I saw him talking to the FBI man at the federal building, and I knew I'd made a mistake, that he betrayed me.
If he had, would you be free now? Figure it out.
I have. They're just waiting to round up some witnesses who saw me shoot Captain Claney.
You're wrong, Matthews. You're dead wrong. Reichel hasn't told anyone at all, and he never will. Same goes for me.
I only wish to heaven that were true, because if it were, I'd never have a better reason for killing you than now, before you do have a chance to talk. But unfortunately, I'll never be sure that you haven't talked.
Well, kill me. There's one thing you can be sure of. Star billing in an execution party.
Really? But right now, it's you who are the star, Mr. Stone. Or maybe this gun isn't really loaded after all. Come on, find out. Give me an excuse for pulling the trigger. Look, there he comes. Back. Against the wall. Stay where you are. Right there.
A cold wind rustled the maples as the big car came to a halt at the head of the drive. Hidden by the trees, its lights blinked out. By the veranda rail, a dozen feet away, Matthews crouched, gun raised. The trees hid whoever it was coming up the walk as the moonlight and shadow danced among the leaves.
Come on, Reichel, come on. Keep coming. Come on.
Matthews.
A little closer. A little closer.
In another moment or two, his target would be out of the shadow of the trees into the bright moonlight. Matthews!
Huh?
Those men with him.
Oh, where?
Hiding among the trees, see? They're moving.
Where?
There.
Huh?
That shadow there, and over there, and over there. Can't you see them?
Yes, yeah.
They're covering him. He knows you're here.
I'll kill him.
They'll get you first. You haven't a chance.
No.
Drop that gun. Drop it.
They'll never get me. Never.
He thrust the gun to his own head and pulled the trigger 6 times before he ever got to it.
They'll never get me. Nobody.
But, Mr. Stone, you mean he was trying to ambush me with an empty gun?
Yes, Doctor. Then he tried to blow out his brains with it.
Oh, poor fellow.
Looks to me like he's gone off his trolley, but for good. Look at him lying there, groveling in the dirt as though he were trying to hide.
Or dig himself in. Yes, he's living a moment of the war all over again. Harlan, stop it. Stop it.
Denuncia, May 6, 1943.
Well, how did you know?
He told me. I guess Captain Claney got his revenge after all.
What do you mean?
Well, he shot Claney in the back and thought he got away with it, but look at him now.
Oh, Mr. Stone. This whole nightmare in the poor fellow's mind started when he observed me making an inquiry at Army Information Headquarters here. I was trying to locate the one man who could cure him.
Who?
Why, Captain Willard Claney, of course.
What's that?
But the reason I arrived here so late is that I've been wandering about looking for Matthews. I wanted to tell him that I finally succeeded. I found Claney.
You mean that...
The man's alive and well, working in a bank in Spokane. I spoke to him tonight on long distance.
Well, that's one for the book. Matthews must have just wounded him and then thought that he...
Matthews didn't even hit him.
He didn't hit him?
Doctor.
Wait a minute. Harlan. I think he's aware. Harlan, do you hear me?
Dr. Reichel.
Did you hear what I said? Captain Claney is alive. You didn't kill him. Do you understand? You did not kill him.
You're lying.
No, I can prove it to you. Now, we can call him up. You can speak to him yourself. He's alive.
No, I shot him.
You thought you shot him, Harlan, but you missed. You missed.
No, I saw him drop. I saw him, and he dropped.
Oh, yes. Claney dropped all right, but not from your bullet. No. When I spoke to him on the phone tonight, he said that the only wound he received was a shell splinter in the chest. Why, he doesn't even remember a sergeant named Harlan Matthews.
What? You're joking.
No, Harlan, it's the truth.
I didn't kill him. I didn't kill him. I didn't kill him.
Know the truth, and the truth shall set you free, huh, Doc?
Well, for him, there's still a long, hard road ahead and plenty of work to do. But at least, Mr. Stone, we've reached the beginning.
Well, dawn is just around the corner, and the city lights are going out street by street, like the lights in some people's minds. Yes, they say the truth is a great mental healer. And I guess it is, if you can bear to face it. Okay, so let's face it. Copy, boy.
You are listening to Night Beat on the Wheaties Big Parade.
Whole wheat. Flakes of golden whole wheat. Sounds pretty good just like that, doesn't it? Everybody knows you need whole wheat, and Wheaties make a very nice way to get it. Breakfast time, lunchtime, any time's the time for Wheaties. Easy, too. Just open the package, pour those flaky little flakes into a bowl, sugar 'em, cream 'em, and be happy. That's Wheaties you're eating. Breakfast of champions. Wheaties. Get some.
Night Beat, starring Frank Lovejoy, is produced and directed by Warren Lewis and edited by Larry Marcus. Tonight's story was written by Irwin Ashkenazi with music by Frank Worth. The part of Harlan Matthews was played by Jeff Corey. Jeanette Nolan was Mrs. Matthews, and the doctor, Ben Wright. Listen next week at this same time and every week as Randy Stone searches through the city for the strange stories waiting for him in the darkness.
And this is your Wheaties man, Frank Martin, inviting you to listen also on Tuesday, that's tomorrow night, to the premiere of the Penny Singleton Show on the Wheaties Big Parade. See you then.
Going to bake a pie sometime soon? Make it with Crust Quick, the Betty Crocker pie crust mix. You know, it's a tender, flaky crust that's at the bottom of every delicious pie, sure as you use Crust Quick. And so easy.
Just add water to Crust Quick.
And what pie crust? Tender crust, tasty crust, rich, short, lovely crust, just like Betty Crocker makes. And you can make it.
Just add water to Crust Quick.
Crust Quick, the Betty Crocker pie crust mix. Night Beat came to you from Hollywood. Stay tuned for Christopher London over most NBC stations.
Yeah, good morning, people. How are we this morning? It's Monday. I'm here. I'm weird. Get used to it. What are you going to do, huh? It is Movie Monday. It's Monday. I got coffee. Which is all that really matters at this point this morning, is that I have coffee. Because boy, oh boy, do I need coffee. I'm telling you, I need some coffee. Because yesterday I had tea. I didn't have coffee yesterday. I had a half of one of these of tea. Didn't do a thing for me. I got a big dog to deal with here. I'll be right back. Gee, I'm gonna put these here this morning. Gosh, aren't those pretty? Pretty. A little bit more. There we go. We can just see the edge of the flowers. You see the pretty flowers? See the pretty flowers from my wife, and a dozen from my daughter's girlfriends for my daughter's birthday. So I like to have the flowers around. When we have flowers in the house, I try to put them in next to me. They're pretty. They smell nice too. Ah, yeah. But enough about the flowers. Let's see, Friday, I was playing Minecraft, getting things situated for my adventure this evening, and wouldn't you know it, I'm playing along, and then all of a sudden, it just freezes and goes to a screen that says, "You're out of memory." Apparently, I have run up so much memory on this one game that I've used up all the memory in my daughter's Switch. Oi. Anybody know how to put more memory into a Switch? Yeah, get a bigger one, right? So that's the deal now. She archived a few games and deleted some stuff. So hopefully it'll give me an extra, 100 or so megabytes. I probably won't do much more building. I remember that when we used to play, I'd be building, and then it'd say, "You're out of blocks. You've used up all the amount of blocks and things that you can for the game." And I'm like, what? So hopefully that's not a thing anymore, because that would be a bummer. Get to a point in a world where you just can't do anything, You have to go destroy a bunch of your own stuff, I guess. A micro SD card. Thank you, Joey. So, good morning. So we're talking, we just looked to see what size she has and then just double it. Just get a bigger one. Yeah, that sounds cool. Beachin'. How do you do that? When the thing is full, how do you take it off of one and put it onto the other? Now that's the kicker right there, right? How do you move stuff over when you don't even have enough memory to save? How do you pull one out and put one in? I don't get it. You're gonna have to upload your stuff somewhere to a cloud or something. Push everything off and then put it back down. I don't know. I don't know. I need coffee. Maybe that'll help. So let's see, movies. Anybody seen Doll Man? Doll Man, as in a little doll? A man the size of a doll? Doll Man. Yeah. It was 1991, 1989, something like that. It was right in that era there. Check the settings on the Switch. Yeah, my daughter went through it last night and fiddled around, and we're gonna have to see how, maybe archive stuff and then switch the cards and then unarchive it. I don't know, because that's what she did with some of her stuff. So we'll have to see. It's just a bummer because it's like almost 500 megabytes of information, and her average world that she plays in is like 50 or 60 megabytes, right? And I don't know when to stop. I just keep going and going and going and going and going. So yeah, we're literally gonna have to double her memory, at least. It's an older Switch. She's had it for a couple of years, so the chances are she can get a huge SD card for it now. What I really need to do is get her another Switch, right? Get her a brand new Switch that's got all of the stuff on it. Put a new SD card in this one and give that one to me, so that now she's got the better one and I've got the little crappier one. Because, she's the one that does all of the fancy stuff. I just get into a game and just go crazy. I don't even do the online stuff, so yeah. Anyways, what's going on, man? You watch any good movies? Did you watch any good movies, Hans? Orale. Let's see here. No, really. I made a music video. I finally took my song and made a music video out of it. It's really righteous. There's probably one or two tweaks that I could probably do to it. There's one at the beginning. But other than that, I think the video has come out pretty okay. I get a big grin from my daughter, and she said I love it. And my wife said, yeah, let's go to the movies. And I got teary-eyed. I almost cried. So I think it's pretty okay. I think it's pretty close to what I was looking for. I tried not to plan it out. I tried to go organically. I had ideas. I grabbed way more elements than I could ever use in the video, and then I just kind of picked and chose the stuff that I wanted for the music video. But it's I don't know, I guess it's my style of video because it was fun. It was really neat. It was fun to do. Yeah, I really liked it. It's really, really fun. Really was. So anyway, you guys let me know if you're interested. It's not public yet. I uploaded it to the channel, but I haven't decided when to make it public, so I made it public like on the 4th of October. I may make it public before then. I just wanted some time for the checks to go through, and then I wanted to see if anybody was interested. I don't want to force anybody to watch it. That's right, Joey. When you were here, I think I played you a few songs on my guitar. That's right. Because I was hard up for somebody to hang out with. And it's like you showed up and I was like, wow, I got a person here. There's an actual person here in my home. Oh my gosh, what am I going to do? You probably saw how nervous I was. But yeah. Let me know. I'll play you my song. My music video. Otherwise, I'm just going to sit here and drink my coffee and smoke my dope. I found a bunch of more movies yesterday on my my resources, and wow, what really cool movies I found too. Yeah. It's pretty cool stuff, you know. It's pretty cool, kitty proo. Ah, jeez. Ha. Wow, Voyager 2 is 15 billion miles from Earth. Wow. That's a long journey. It's slowly fading away. I bet it they say it's dying. They say it's been dying for decades, right? I bet it just goes on and on and on. I bet all of a sudden it springs back to life for a few seconds, really excited about something, and has a lot of power, and it shows some really heavy images that were like, what the hell is that? And then it goes dead. I bet that's what's going to happen. It's going to come on really strong because it's going to get close to some power source, right? Or somebody out there is going to get it, plug it in and boost the power, right? And go, what is this thing? In their alien language. And we're going to get some weird images and readings and stuff really quick, and then it's going to go dead. And we're going to go, what the fuck was that? You send that thing so far away, it's going to start reporting back some heavy shit. 15 billion miles. That's a lot of miles from home, man. And it takes a long time for those signals to get back to us. That means that when something does grab that thing and plug it in and we get that couple of seconds of what the fuck was that, that will have already happened like forever ago, and well, you know, not forever. How long does it take radio signals to travel 15 billion miles? Should we ask? Let's ask. Let's ask Mr. Computer. How long does it take radio signals to travel 15 billion miles? Well, let's check it out. Round trip to the moon is, well, that's just, 238,000 miles. That's nothing. 186 miles per second. So 15 billion. Well, that's not a help. That ain't no friggin' help. Well, there it is. Did Voyager, what? It's just more crap. You're not answering. You're not answering my questions. Okay, Voyager is now more than 15.1 billion miles from Earth, so far away that it takes the spacecraft radio signals 22 hours and 34 minutes. 22 hours and 34 minutes to reach Earth from Voyager. So it's about a day. That's forever when you're listening to it on a radio, right? Especially if you're trying to communicate with that machine. Ah, jeez. So I got a VCR set up here next to me. When I was making my music video, I had this idea that I was gonna record from my VCR onto my computer and take portions of movies, right? And I did. I did like 3 portions of a couple of movies, and they were okay. It's got that video processing crap so that if you try to copy it, it goes into a weird squiggly color thing. So that happened, and I was like, well, that's kind of a bummer. And I thought, well, okay, well, I'm going to manipulate the photos or the videos and stuff to kind of age it anyway. So I was gonna use it, and then I thought, you know what? Fuck it. I pulled up YouTube on this computer. I ran it into my mixer. I ran the mixer into my recorder on the computer here. I queued up videos on YouTube with movie scenes, just the scene that I wanted, and then would record them onto my computer digitally from computer to computer, just like I'm doing from VCR to VCR, play it live, record it live, right? And it worked out perfect. Rather than try to download a file and save a file and then do that. Now the sound did get a little clickety and glitchy on occasion, right? But I wasn't using the sound. I was only using the video of movie segments, right? So it turned out really, really well. I would take a movie scene here, play it, record it here, title it, file it, stuff it away. And then when I pulled them out the next day to make my video, it was like, here's a 2-minute section of a movie, 3-minute section of a movie, 5, 2, 3, 1, and all these different movie bites. My favorite little theater and drive-in scenes from different movies. And it worked. I pulled out like, I don't know, 20 different movie scenes and used, what, a half dozen, I think. Yeah. It's amazing what you think that you could put into a 5-minute video and then what you can actually put into a 5-minute video. I don't think the video's exactly 5 minutes, but it's pretty darn close. Pretty darn close. The song is, the video for the original song video is 4 minutes long. There's a little at the beginning, a little bit at the end that's not music, that's just, bullshit. So the song is only about 3 3/4. But, it's hard to squeeze, because you don't want to just put up a couple of seconds of a movie, because then it's like, what the hell is that? What the hell is, you got to leave it up there long enough for people to go, oh, hey, that's that movie, right? And if you don't do that, then you're kind of missing the point. You're missing the boat. But yeah, awesome stuff. So I haven't watched any sports this year at all, except for a little boxing maybe. Thank goodness. I haven't had to be tortured with any basketball, any baseball, any football, anything. Nothing. No fucking sports at all whatsoever. Oh, hey, Hiram, if you're listening, I just heard that Iron Maiden's doing a 50-year tour. Now that would be the opportunity for you to hook up with me and go to Iron Maiden. They're probably going to play right here somewhere. Why don't you fly on out? I'll put you in a house and and you and I can go see Iron Maiden this year sometime. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. Anyways. Yeah. So I have to get on tonight and play Minecraft. Well, I have to, damn it. It's my job. So this morning, after my daughter gets up and heads off to school, she's not going to school until noon today because her friend isn't going to school today. And she doesn't have a class until like 2 or something, so she's going to leave it after 12, and my wife and daughter are going to go down there and spend the afternoon doing my daughter's classes. And I said, you know what, go to lunch, go do a mommy-daughter day thing, you know, get some dinner, do some shopping or whatever, you know, go for it. Go for it, man. You know, because you don't, we're getting older, all of us, my daughter, and we're not going to get these opportunities to hang out like this much anymore. She's just going to keep going off on her own, doing her own thing, you know. Deservedly so. We're not going to stand in her way. So we're, you know, let's take those opportunities we can to hang out with her. You know, like, for sure. Oh my God, no way. So yeah, I brought a bunch of movies. From the video store, right? That's what it feels like when I'm looking through these lists. All these lists of movies. I mean, just movies, right? And like, let's see, what did I picked up I brought home a bunch of ELO. A bunch of ELO concerts. Electric Light Orchestra, baby. Live from 74. 73, 76, 78, 79. And a bunch of recent stuff. Yeah, it's really, really cool. And then let's see, I also brought home some movies. I brought home Police Academy, Pink Floyd The Wall, Robin Hood, the Disney Robin Hood. I love that one. Robin Hood and Little John running through the forest. Right? That was a really good one. Let's see, Weird Al Yankovic video collection. A movie called Light Years with some soundtrack by the Grateful Dead. Tommy, The Who, the movie from 1975. A TV special from 1978 from Steve Martin, A Wild and Crazy Guy. Just wow. Wild and crazy guy. So yeah, that's pretty cool stuff. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Let's see, we've also got, let's see here, more movies from my childhood. Breaking Away. Candle Shoe. So Candle Shoe was Jodie Foster. She's 15 in this. Great friggin' movie. It's 1977. She had just come off of The Little Girl Who Lives Down the Lane, Taxi Driver, Bugsy Malone, right? And then she does Candle Shoe, and she's like Academy Award material, and she's working with like David Niven, right? Oh, it's a great fucking movie. So I watched it again with my wife sitting here next to me, right? She loved it, you know. How could you not? It's like Disney. It's a Disney movie, you know. And it was just brilliant. It was a brilliant. I will watch that movie once a week until I die. It's a great movie. I didn't watch it enough growing up. I can't get enough of young Jodie Foster, because I look at as soon as she comes into that movie, she comes around a corner. As soon as I see her, I see myself, right? She's wearing this green olive drab army coat jacket, right, with the big baggy pockets, the sleeves cut off, t-shirt, jeans, baggy bell-bottom jeans, crusty old dirty sneakers, right? And I totally see myself at that age, right? Totally. I mean, it was like looking in a mirror, you know. It was crazy, all dirty and grubby and pissed off, and I love that movie. when I was young, I wanted to be Jodie Foster, you know. She had it going on. And I don't get well, that's a girl. You wanted to be a girl? It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with being a human, you know. I wanted to be that human. Just a, wow. Of course, she, you know, her life wasn't perfect. She had it pretty rough. So, you know, with her own inner dealings and trying to cope being in the world, not being able to express who you really are, right? I totally got it. So yeah, good stuff. So some other movies. That I'm looking to pick up now are some of the movies that I used scenes from in my music video, but I don't have the whole movie. Stuff that I garnered off of the YouTube, right? So I want to pick up Diner, right? Yeah, I don't think I've seen that since the 80s, since it was on HBO over at Andy's house. Wow, Diner. Yeah, it's got it's got Daniel Stern in it. It's got that guy from Police Academy. It's got that actor, boxer guy who, well, of course, you know, now he looks completely different because he's had plastic surgery and he's a big gigantor guy. But he's, oh, I can't remember any of these names right now. Daniel Stern, of course, because I just watched him in Breaking Away. In fact, I was watching this movie, and it's got that boxer. It was MacGyver episode. It's got that boxer guy in it. I could not remember his name, and I still can't remember his name. Boxer, movie guy. What do we got? So let's just look up a movie that I know he's in. And then cast. And then as soon as I see him, I'm going to go, you son of a bitch. Oh, Randall Tex Cobb. That's it, Randall Tex Cobb. I had the X. I kept saying X something. Randall Tex Cobb. Yeah, now there's a good guy. Uncommon Valor, I believe, is the one where Gene Hackman grabs a bunch of good Vietnam guys to go back to Vietnam to find some soldiers who were taken prisoner. And he's going to try to rescue his own son as well as rescue the senator or governor's son or something. And it's like Gene Hackman and Randall Tex Cobb and what's his face? Jan Michael Vincent is in it. It's one of those great. And Tex Cobb, he does this karate scene where he's up at the sunset and it's just him, and it's kind of a Karate Kid thing where he's a silhouette. He's doing his weird stuff, and he's a big guy. He's a really big guy, and to see him doing that stuff like a delicate little flower was funny. But it's MacGyver. We're watching it, and I looked at my wife and says, he's an ex-fighter, so look out, he's going to get busy. And then he throws a kick, and I'm like, oh yeah, and he knows karate too. And he was using his legs profusely. She's a big Bessie face. Oh, no wedgie, no wedgie. Ah, no wedgie. Ah, okay. Yeah. What a day. What a weekend. It was my daughter's birthday. So we stopped doing birthday parties back in junior high when she was like, I don't want a birthday party, I just want friends. Right? So I think it was like junior high school where she just said, nah, no more parties. Parties are for little kids. So it's just whatever she wants. It's, you know, it's all up to her. We don't do surprise parties. We don't do things that she's not ready for. Let me get this flannel there. But we just, you know, let her do her own thing. And she doesn't really, she's not, you know, oh, I went this and I went that and I went this and I went that. She doesn't do that either. She hasn't done that. God, she's never done that. I used to have a hard time trying to pick out something for her because she would be like, I don't know. I was like, no, come on, what do you want? I was like, I don't know. So I would get these little things, and for like years in a row, I would always go and get the same things at the store because she would never. Come on, Bessie. Come on, Bessie. Come on, Bessie. Don't you come in here and lay down. Come on, come on. Come on, get up there. It's just the big flowers. Don't be scared of the flowers. And I would get her the same things every time, you know. She liked Barbie. She liked Legos. She liked Littlest Pet Shops. She liked, you know, these certain little things. So every year I would just go get her these similar things, you know, throughout the year. I think that was it. That throughout the year, whether it was her birthday or Christmas or whatever, anytime that she wanted something, we just get it for her, right? Not that she was spoiled, but she never asked for much. So when she did ask for something, she'd more than likely get it, you know. She never got into trouble, always had good grades and everything. So she didn't have any competition at home. She was an only child. You know, what were we going to do? Say, nah, you can't have that. I mean, when she wasn't asking for much, you can't really deny somebody something when it only happens once in a while. So yeah. She, to this day, she doesn't really, she's like, you know, I just want a place to hang out for my friends. So her thing is getting a vacation rental. That's what she likes for her birthday. To get away, to go hang out with some friends, have all of her friends come over, or a couple, or whatever. And so it was like, okay, we'll do that for a couple of days. Go for it. And I just stayed away, you know. It's like, well, that's what you want, then, you know, go for it. Hang out with your friends. You need something for me, I'm there. We took dinner over Saturday night on her birthday, hung out, had dinner, had some cake. But we were there for as long as that took. And then it was like, all right, you guys have fun. Well, I'm not going to hang out and make them sit and look at my sour puss while they want to, you know, what, sit on their phones and text or play games, whatever kids do, you know. So, yeah. Totally cool. That dog is like, she just want to go outside again? Wow. That's weird. She doesn't usually want to go back to bed. She's usually out here with me from here on. She'll come out and hang out with me and be with me for the whole day if I'm here. Gosh. The fact that she wants to go get back in bed and go to sleep with Mom. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. I mean, she's been here a couple of years, but it's taken her that long just to, I don't know, get used to us. She's a skittish dog, you know. She's a different dog. she had some weirdness going on when she was young. I don't know what it was, but something weird happened. I don't try to understand the dogs that I got from my father. They react to the weirdest things. They react to the weirdest noises and words. That comes from animals who have been, in some way or another, I don't want to say abused or traumatized, but they've been exposed to something that's freaked them out. So they get skittish real quick, you know. Yeah, I mean, Oliver's probably the only one that doesn't jump up and look around when something hits the floor. He'll look over his shoulder like, what the fuck was that? You know, all the other ones are up and running out of the room figuring they're going to get squashed. And Oliver, he's the spoiled one who's never known anything but this house and being spoiled. So, yeah, something weird happens and everybody else is like, gets afraid. And he's like, what the hell? Yeah. He's a weird little dude. He's a weird little dude, Oliver. Weird little dude. So here's a picture of let me make this full screen here. Here's a picture of Bessie, the big one below, and Tootsie, the one on top. They're best friends. They've known each other since, like, forever. They were my father's dogs, Tootsie on top and Bessie on the bottom. And they came here a couple of years back, and, you know, they still do the same things. They still do the double-decker bus thing. Of course, Sam wants to know, how the hell do you do this? I don't get it. How does this work? I'm very uncomfortable, and I don't want to lay on top of her. How do you do, Tootsie? How do you do this? She's like, just chill out, man. That's all you got to do is just get up and lay down. Dig in and hold on. Yeah, funny stuff. Funny stuff. I thought I had a picture of Oliver there, but so hi, how are you? Good morning. It's Monday. Coffee, need more coffee. Yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, the music video. That was a lot of fun doing the music video. I'm not sure when I'm going to make it public on YouTube. I could share it anytime I want during one of my live shows if somebody is so inclined to want to watch it. But I'm not going to force it on you. Hint, hint. But yeah, I was really excited to get to show my daughter. She's my most favorite audience, my most favorite and most honest critic. She'll let me know, buddy, you humped a bunk on that one, dude. Yeah, she'll let me know right away if I screw something up. But yeah, she said I got this one. She said she really likes this one. I'm happy. I'm happy. And I had not heard the song in months, not since I got the finished audio from my friend David, who had helped me with the song, playing the bass, and then took it home and added harmonica to it, right? So I hadn't listened to it since I got it back from him, and went, wow, yeah, this is cool. And then thought, okay, now I can start gathering elements for a video. And of course, my ideas were way bigger and more grandiose than the video came out. But I figure that this is probably a first go at this video. And what I may do is, once I start playing and singing again, because I just haven't. Once I start doing that again, because I'm starting to feel it, then I think I may record it again, anew, with a fuller arrangement and a better sound quality, and then do something, do a video that's a little more personal between me and movies, right? Which means trying to figure out how to use my other editing program, the green screen, and collecting real raw footage of myself and the music and stuff, and putting a more of a real video together with a little bit of borrowed content. But I would prefer to try to create more stuff with original content. So there you go. There you go. There you have it. There it is, right there in front of you, all pink and swollen. What are you gonna do? Well, stop touching it. It won't get swollen. Yeah. Noises. Noises. Yeah, noises. Got a bunch of noises. Not noses, noises. Oh, what did I watch last week? Point Break. I watched Point Break last week. Doll Man. I love Tim Thomerson. I love me some Tim Thomerson movies. Anything that he's in, any character that he plays, I want to watch him doing it. Right? If you're not familiar with Tim Thomerson, let me bring up good old Tim Thomerson here, and let's see what we get. Oh yeah, baby, that's him. Alright, I gotta save this. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah, baby. Let me put it on the morning show files and save. Yeah, baby. Alright. Oh, wait. I better get rid of that. Oh, my. Oh, boy. Yeah. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Let me find a really good picture of Tim Thomerson. Something that says, "You remember me. Remember me." I guess that's a... There's a pretty good one. There's a pretty good one. Are you gonna let me? Are you gonna let... Sure. Alright. Here we go. And... here we go. All right, let me pop up this picture of Tim Thomerson because he is the bee's knees. Here we go. So that's Tim Thomerson. He's all over 1970s TV shows, comedies. He always pops in playing some bizarre character. And there he is in one of those tough guy movies. Yeah, just one of my favorite funny guys. I mean, you just pick a movie and he's in it or been thought about for it, right? One of the first things I remember seeing him in was Car Wash, 1977. Is that what it was? 1977, 76, 77. Car Wash. And he just had a small part. He was a guy at the end of the movie, came in to pick up the cashier at the car wash. Hey, baby, when do you get off? And just had a little part. Really funny. I really love him in Volunteers with Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson and Tim Thomerson as the crazy Vietnam vet guy living over there in Cambodia or wherever they're at, right? And he's just kook. He's got a knife, big knife that he names Mike, and him and Mike are going to do this, or him and Mike are going to do that. And he's a kook. He's just a full-blown kook in that movie, and just about everything that he does. Even if he's playing a straight guy, he still comes off as a kook, right? And it's that voice and that face, and he just can't help it, right? Boy, don't I know it. But it's, Tim Thomerson, great stuff. And Doll Man, where he's from an alien planet, and he gets here, and we're giants to him. He's just a little guy. He's just about this big. He's just the size of a doll, right? But he's got this super ultimate powerful handgun that in his world will blow a normal person to pieces. So in our world, it will fuck your shit up. And then it's got like some toxic bullets or something. So even if the bullet doesn't kill you, eventually it kills you. It's crazy.
It's friggin' crazy.
So Doll Man, yeah. And the best part about Doll Man, not only did it have good old Tim Thomerson in it, but it had Jackie Earle Haley. And when I started watching it, I just thought, ooh, cool, the Tim Thomerson movie. Didn't know anything about it. And all of a sudden, in the credits, Tim Thomerson and then Jackie Earle Haley. And I'm like, wow, he gets like top billing in this. He doesn't, it's not like, boom, 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 and there's Jackie Earle Haley. It's like, hey, he actually played a gang boss in, I believe it was New York. Yeah. And if you don't remember who Jackie Earle Haley is, he's really busy right now. He's been busy for the last 20 years. Rorschach on that superhero movie. I don't remember what the fuck it was called. He did a bunch of just great supporting roles in the last 20 years. Of course, as a kid actor, he was best known for the Bad News Bears franchise as Kelly Leak, the motorcycle riding, cigarette smoking preteen who could really play baseball. Great stuff. Great stuff. Jackie Earle Haley. And then had a kind of a hard time transferring it was hard going from young to old in Hollywood. But this is one of those things where he's still young, but he ain't a kid anymore. He's like, I think he's in his 20s or maybe his 30s at this point. Probably his 20s, because he ain't that old now. So he's in his like 20s in this Doll Man. And he's really, really good. You know? Yeah, it's hard for me to find, you know, good Jackie Earl Haley movies, or any, because he did a lot of obscure stuff. And then kind of drifted away for a while, you know. Speaking of car wash, he probably was washing cars, you know. You never know. Hollywood is a fickle bitch, and it's a hard life. It'll chew you up, spit you out, grind you up. Woo! Woo! Yeah. Anyways. So, you guys watch any good movies lately? I only watch old movies, so rarely do I watch a new movie. It's got to have some kind of retro or vintage slant to it, right? It's got to harken to the bygone era. It's got to, yeah, it's got to appeal to me in that way in order for me to want, like, new stuff, like Stranger Things, stuff like that. Netflix also did, using that little redheaded girl in that, they also did a little series, 3 movie series, where it took place in the now, it took place in the 70s, and then it took place in the 1800s or early 1900s. So that was neat. So I like the stuff that's got kind of a throwback feel to it, you know. Otherwise, I just prefer to watch an old movie. You know, even the stuff that's got a throwback feel to it has usually got that modern day agenda bullshit going on, you know, where they try to use the media. Well, I mean, they do it successfully. They use the media and social media and all that bullshit to just get people to go this way and that way, and it's like cattle, you know, like sheep and a sheepdog, you know. And that sheepdog is the media, all the media, and it just keeps running around you and chasing you this way and chasing you that way, and everybody just goes and runs this way, and then the sheepdog media runs over, and you know, the media sheepdog, and then everybody runs this way, you know. And then they corral you up and they make it, you know, what are we gonna do now? Wait until we tell you what the fuck to do. Okay. Just stay on your phones, and you'll be advised as what to do, you know, and how to live your lives. Nobody does anything on their own anymore. They literally have to check with their phone. Well, I don't know. Let me see if I'm going to be able to do that. You know, phone. Am I allowed to do this, or am I going to have to sit here and look at you for 4 hours, and swipe and get a sore finger? You know, I mean, look at people's fingers. Their thumbs are fucking huge. They got these giant fucking thumbs with these pointy little tips for tapping those things. But the muscles built up in these thumbs. That's what's going to happen. Human evolution, we're going to get these funky looking hands with these giant thumbs, with these clicker, pointer, stylus tips on them, right? It's going to be crazy. Yeah. And our pupils are going to become squares, you know. Where our vision is only going to work right here. Everything else we're going to be blind to. And we're looking at a screen and we're okay, but everything else in the real world is fucked up, man. That's the way it's going to be, man. Human evolution, genes, pass that shit down to your kids. You know, and so on and so forth. Pretty soon, man, evolution grabs you by the poo-poo and says, you're fucked. You're mine now, bitch. Oh, coffee. Coffee. I'm off to heat this up, huh? I got to heat it. I got to heat it up. I'll be right back. Don't nobody go nowhere. I think it's so funny how Bessie just wanted to get back into bed. She's like, oh, fuck this shit. You just going to talk to yourself again? I'm getting really tired of this shit, the dog says. Put me back in bed. Yep. Usually she's clamoring to get out here with me. I don't know why. The other day the dogs came out here because I got up early Saturday morning. I could not sleep. I got to sleep too early on Friday night because my daughter checked into the Airbnb. Thank you, Ron and Viv. You guys are awesome. And she checked in there with her friends. The friends came and picked her up, and they went shopping and got a few groceries, and they went to the house and hung out and played video games. So I packed up an extra TV and DVD player and her Switch and took it all over there and dropped it off. Said adios. Did not hang around. And then my wife got dressed when she got home from helping out a friend. She got home, took a shower, got cleaned up, and my daughter gave her birthday present a week early and sent her to see Cheyenne or Cayenne or whoever the hell that is, right? So she went and went to the Acrisure Arena and saw him and that concert, had a ball. I offered to go, but I was like, you don't want to spend extra money on a guy who is just going to go to, So anyway, she went and she had a ball. She said she just had the time of her life. So there was nobody here. I finished up my video stuff for the night, my programming guide and all this crap that I had to do here at the console. And I crawled into bed like at 8 o'clock and read and then watched some movie and passed the fuck out. I woke up when my wife got home, and not for long. I woke up, hi honey, how you doing, how are you? And I was gone again, which is surprising because I'm usually wide awake when, once I'm up. And no, she decided to come home and eat rather than stop and eat. So she came home and she ate something and, sat up and watched a little TV and then came to bed. And I was oblivious to it all. Completely oblivious. And then, of course, we slept in because it was Saturday. And no kid, no school, no work, no play, no nothing going on. So like, shit, we just fucking slept in. But that means I slept until like 5, and then by 5:30 I'm like, all right, I can't take this, and I got up. So 5:30 in the morning, I'm out here making coffee and hanging out. And Sam decided to come out. Bessie decided to come out. Sam hung out with me all morning on this chair, covered up with a towel. And then I started to gather more and more resources for this music video on Saturday. And Saturday night, I put together a few resources, elements inside of an editing program and started stacking up my media to use. Titled the program Pre-Production, and then clouded it so that I had this waiting for me. So I got up Sunday after I slept in a little longer, and I spent the whole day working on the music video. And I saved it out 4 times. Saved it, watched it, went back, changed it, saved it, watched it, went back, changed it. And I still need to go back and change it one more time, because I had changed it and then only changed one element, and the corresponding elements I didn't change, so I have to figure that out. But for the most part, it's done. It's like that one little glitch at the beginning, and that's it. And then it's a done deal. So it's pretty much in the can. It's on YouTube as a private video so that it can be there. And I ran the checks, and I got 2 copyright hits on my melody. So I immediately disputed those copyright claims, because it's just an algorithm that makes the claim, you know. So I disputed it because it's an original song. Now, if they wanted to claim copyright on some of the movie stuff that I used, I would just swap it out for something else, right? Which is why I chose 1,000 things and only used a few. So I'm figuring that because I had the same issue before on this, that with a different melody, it was a Western song, but because this has got bass and harmonica added, it's got 2 new melodies added to it. So there you go. So I got hit. So I had to throw a counter claim on it because it's mine, and I can't let it. If I let it go, then later on they can steal my stuff by saying that it belongs to them because and I didn't. So I have to dispute it now, which I think other people have run into the same issue and then just left it alone, and then wound up having their material screwed. They can't use their material now because somebody else won the claim. So I can't let it go. I have to say, hey, this is me, this is mine. I mean, when it was just a 3-chord guitar and vocals is when I first uploaded and got hit by somebody claiming that it was a melody that was this. And it was just algorithm shit. So I disputed it, and I won. So I'm thinking, all right, well, now we got a bass line that's got a couple of more chords and a slightly different melody. And then the harmonica, which is all over the place. So that's got to sound something. And I'm looking at the time these things are claimed, and it's like, yeah, it's all that bass. And where that harmonica pops in right there. So yeah, hopefully I won't have to deal with that much longer. I don't really want, what you call it? Ah, jeez. This stupid thing. There we go. Trying to navigate this phone. I use my phone as my monitor, so it can be cumbersome. Not cummerbund. Oh. Not Cumberbatch, but cumbersome. Alright, and then if that doesn't work, try that on for size. A little Tim Thomerson action. Alright, Tim Thomerson. He's the man. I just love his voice. What a great voice. Look at that Widow's Peak hairline there. Trancers. I believe that is from the movie Trancers. Yeah. Which I don't think I've seen Trancers, at least not all of it. There's a lot of these movies that I haven't seen since the 1980s. You know, because you see them, then you get into new stuff in the 90s, and I was watching a lot of new 90s movies. And then about, pardon me, about halfway through the 90s, I went through some bunch of changes, and just, I wasn't watching TV anymore. I wasn't watching movies. For a brief few years, I was kind of homeless. Just me, myself, and I. And then, off and on, homeless for a while. You know, my place of my own, living on somebody's couch, and a place of my own, living in a tent, living in a car, living in a tent. Yeah. So I didn't have the opportunity to watch a lot of TV. And then when I did, even back then, even in the 90s, early 90s, mid 90s, I was still, even back then, I was just watching old stuff. I would watch old TV shows from the 80s that I'd missed, movies that I'd missed from the 70s and 80s, and then listening to a lot of music and a lot of books on tape and that kind of stuff in the 90s. And then 95, I just kind of just gave up on music, gave up on media, gave up on the world, gave up on everything. You know, it was like, fuck this. And I did that for a few years until I started getting back into music, but the music that I was listening to was music from the 70s and 80s, strictly. All I was listening to was, you know, ABBA, Bee Gees, Yellow, you know, anything from the 70s and 80s. And then I remember going to in 97, going to the video store a lot and getting old movies and a few new movies from, you know, directors and stuff that actors that I could totally deal with. But, and a lot of video games. I would get a lot of video games, play a lot of video games, because it's real easy to escape with video games and then not need movies. Kind of creating your own little movie. That's what I love about Minecraft, is I feel like I'm like in a movie, you know, and I'm like acting and directing and camera and everything all at the same time, you know, and everything that I do, I try to bring it off like, hey, this is a big production. And that's just when I'm playing by myself. That's before it goes live. So, man, I get the burps. Oh, that's right, I get the burps when I need to eat. Screw it. I don't need to eat that bad. Yeah. But yeah, when I'm playing Minecraft, it's got that bigger than life feel to it. So much so that even though I'm only watching it on a, you know, 27-inch screen, I think is what it is. It's not a big screen. It's not bloody huge at all. But even though that's all I'm watching it on, and it's coming through my headphones or piped through the stereo or something, when I'm in there, that's all I see. I don't see any of the world around me. I mean, it surrounds me. It blows up and it surrounds me, you know. We're not having much luck with that TV in there, because it's got this little tiny skinny remote, this TV that we got from a friend, and there's not enough buttons on the remote. There's no back button, so you can't just go back, right? Which is really bummer, you know, because you have to literally start all over again when you're trying to do something, which is ridiculous. The fewer the remotes, gosh, it's easier now because it's got fewer. That's bullshit. I don't know why they do that. And then it's got that. I keep adjusting it. It just won't adjust to a sound where you can hear the voices at the same volume as the music and the sound effects, right? But it's like everything is dramatic, and you like, I can't hear the voices now. You got to turn it up, and then it's ultra loud. And then the picture, it's got one of those 3D pictures on it, so everything looks like it's recorded with a fucking camcorder. Everything looks HD camcorder, you know, and it's like, all the movies that I used to enjoy, they sound different, they look different. I can't, you know, it's like, you know what, let's put a different TV back in there and bring that one out, and I'll use that one for gaming and maybe video editing, or try to use it for something else, right? It might be interesting to try that one with Minecraft and see how it looks. I don't know. Or to try it with this and see how it looks. Can I split screen it and bring up two computers? I mean, that'd be fucking awesome, right? Because it's a big screen. It's a big fucking TV. It's a big mofo. So, and it's really big and it's bright and the menu is bright, and everything it does is you know, even though it's not a bright picture, it's just so much screen that it just, you know, our room just becomes like the surface of the sun. It's just so bright in there. And I like to put on a movie when I'm going to sleep. And you can't put it on when it sounds different and it's too bright and it's too much, you know. I mean, I just like to put it on, put the volume down so I can just hear the voices and the explosions or whatever's happening. The other stuff, sound effects, aren't too loud. And I can't get that with this TV, you know. There's only a couple of movies that I can do that. Dragnet, Tom Hanks, Dan Aykroyd. That's one. Right now, it's the only one that I can put on Netflix and watch it while I'm right. Even though it's got a lot of stuff in there, I've got to find that right balance on the volume so that I can lay there and hear the voices, and then when some action happens, it doesn't wake me the fuck up. Because I put on some movies and try to go to sleep, and I just have to reach over and turn that fucking thing off, and then try to sleep in silence. That's hard. Sleeping in silence. I've got less than a quarter of this Ron Howard, Clint Howard book, The Boys. I've got less than a quarter of the book left. Ron Howard was just talking about how, because they shot the, American Graffiti, how they shot American Graffiti completely at night. The whole movie was shot at night except for, I think, the very beginning and the very end, right? Where at the very end, where they had the race and the car accident, and then the airport goodbye scene, right? So Ron Howard was talking about how, because he would spend a lot of his off time running down to see his girlfriend Cheryl, and then he couldn't sleep during the day except from, like, you know, a couple of hours in the morning during the day, right? So he would wind up taking little naps everywhere, you know, and he learned to be able to fall asleep and get 15-20 minutes sleep like that, and just go to sleep and get sleep and wake up, and he said it's really served him because of his directing and producing and stuff, and all of the hats he wears, that he's got to, you know, he never knows when he's gonna, you know, have to be on in between stuff. So he just, you know, gets in the car and takes a nap, you know, sits in the office and takes a nap, you know, and just gets a few minutes in, you know. And my daughter's like that. She can nap out. My wife can nap out. I can't. Oh, hell no, I could never do something like that. That's crazy to think that I would be able to go to sleep just like that, right? That's not, I've never been able to do that. At least not that I can remember. I think only when I was young, in the back of the van or back of a motorhome or something, cruising down the highway. I think that was probably the only time in my life where I was able to just go to sleep at the drop of a hat. I think that was it. It's the only time in my life. And of course now that's not possible, mainly because I can't sleep in a vehicle. I just can't. I've tried. Dead tired. Drive 12, 18 hours, and it's like, okay, you drive and I'm going to sleep for a couple of hours. Nope. The best I can hope for is some rest. Rest my eyes, take my brain off of the road, and that's it. And then a couple of hours, I'm ready to get back on the fucking road, drive another 10, you know? Yeah. It would be great if I could just jump into bed and nap out. I get into bed to take a nap, and yeah, it takes me it takes me as long to get to sleep as normal people would sleep for their nap. Normal people would sleep 20 minutes to an hour to get a cat nap. It takes me 20 minutes, an hour just to get to sleep. So if I decide I need to take a nap for an hour, I got to go lay down for 2 hours and hope that sometime after I go to sleep, I don't have to get up and take a fucking piss. Ah, jeez. That sucks. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm hoping that Minecraft Monday works this evening. I am going to bring it out and hook it up and get it all ready and probably run a system check on the game and see if I get into the world, and because she didn't do that. I said, did you? She said no. So I should do that first and make sure that I can run around and wait till it goes to the little save icon pops up, and make sure that I've got enough memory to at least finish the house that I'm working on in that village. And then I think the only thing I want to do now is run up and down my roads and write down my highway numbers, right? The numbers going this way, left to right, the numbers going up and down. I need to know what those longitude and latitude numbers are so that I can address them on my map and update my map. I've been trying to keep track of little stuff here and there, but I need to make a full-blown list. All right, here's the most lowest road, here's the most highest road. Let's run down this side, and let's take the numbers of the roads and the junctions going down this way, all the way down to the bottom of the map, and then come over this way and run up this side of the parallel north to south roads. There's two of them that go up and down, and then roads that go in between, and then roads that shoot off from those, right? So I just need to get an idea of where those roads are on each north and south road, right? Where's the junctions, where do the roads, because some roads will go like this and then they won't meet, and then they'll kind of stagger over to each other. Some roads go diagonal. So I need to run up and down all of these roads and write the numbers to these roads down. And then I need to run up and down these roads and write the number to these roads down, right? What the hell is he talking about? These roads and those roads and thems and thoses and... I don't know. It sure is fun to hear him talk about these and thoses and themses. I need heat. I need some heat, man. I need the heat. Be right back. So yeah, I don't believe anybody's got anything to do this morning. Not until my daughter goes to class later. So I think they're just gonna sleep in, I guess. Right? Yeah. I try to sleep in. It doesn't work. I'm not a sleeper-inner. I'm just not. So a bunch of the movies that I dug up, I used a couple. And then I dug up a big list of movies here on YouTube, and just grabbed little scenes that I wanted. Mainly, the scenes that I used for my music video were movie scenes that had to take place at the theater or the drive-in, which was my main idea from the beginning, was to do the music video, use theater screens and drive-in screen photos and videos and stuff, where I could put my music video on the screen, and to use movie footage where the scenes were in a theater or drive-in. And I grabbed a bunch of stuff, and I just couldn't find room for it all. And I just wanted to try to line it up so that it was entertaining and it told the story that the song was telling, you know. So I think for a first run at this, I think I did pretty good. And I'll probably do it again. I will probably do a redo on the edit and give it, as soon as I can figure out my other editing programs, and do a redo on the whole, you know. What I'd like to do is I'd like to put myself into a movie scene for a second. A couple of seconds of me in there alongside of the actor doing something. That'd be neat. Technically, I don't know. So it'd be real easy to come up with a green screen. And I do have the program. So, yeah, a couple of programs. Gosh. Yeah, so now I've got all these movie tidbits. So I'm going to keep them, I'm going to hold them, and at some point try to create the same music video, only using more video footage from movies, and edit it tighter together so that I can squeeze in more action. I used a piece from a movie, and it was a pretty long piece, and I could have cut it down to little bites that would squeeze it into a smaller area, and then I could fit in another couple of bites from other movies, right? I got greedy. So I wanted, you know, too much of one movie, because it had a great, you know, because it had a great story or a great piece that, you know, and serendipitously things lined up perfectly as I, you know, just kind of let it happen organically. So that's what I do. I just kind of let it happen. So with those creative juices flowing, I'm probably going to do another video time machine, even though I didn't use the one from last week, and I'm going to use it this week. I'm going to create some more video time machines because they're just so much fun. And I want to start creating more of a thematic half hour. So, I mean, this last one that I did, it focuses on kind of focuses its internal elements on one specific actress, and then if we go back and look at the other couple of video time machines, yeah, we get kind of a multifaceted look at one or two specific actors from the era that we're checking out. We're time traveling, baby. You know, you gotta sit your sights, gotta set them dials. Yeah. This is a VHS copy of King Kong. Starring Fay Wray, Bruce Cabot, and King Kong. Oh, he's got his own billing. Right? It's a movie entitled King Kong, yet he gets third billing, right? That's fucked up, man. That's racist. All right, I'll be right back. Nobody go anywhere. Do about that? What are you gonna do about that? Nothing, that's what. Why? Why? Yeah, I wanted to use Frankenstein. I wanted to use so many other movies, even though Frankenstein didn't have any, just like King Kong doesn't have any like theater scenes. Well, I don't know, maybe. It doesn't have any like theater drive-in scenes, right? It would just be one of those old-timey movies that looks great up on a screen, you know. So yeah, so I'm gonna probably go back to this video program, open it up, go in, fix the elements that I need to fix, change a couple of things around, and edit it, save it again. And give it one last hoorah. Yeah, baby. So that should be cool. Anyways, how's it going, Holmes? Do you know me? Well, let's see all of my notebooks. At some point, I got to work on next week's programming. Yeah, I feel like I'm obligated to a few people out there in the YouTube world who rely on me for some old-time radio stuff. So I'm definitely going to be continuing that. I also see that there's a need for those educational films. I get a number of views. As soon as those educational films go up, I get a number of views. I get 3 or 4 hits. And I'm like, all right, well, that's, somebody is waiting for those things to pop up, and then they're watching them. They must be enjoying them because they keep coming back for more. So I'm like, all right, well, I got to keep that up too. I got to keep up my old-time radio shows, and every day, 5 days a week, I got to load up some kind of educational film. And then I'm going to start dropping my live stuff at 5, 3 nights a week. And then I think Tuesdays and Thursdays I'm going to start using for premiere videos. So I may premiere instead of premiering it the 4th, I may premiere it on the 3rd at 5 instead of midnight. a little earlier, and then I keep my time slots happening, and then if I do it next week, then I can actually put it into the program guide, you know, music video premiere. Build up some hoopla. Some hoopla. I really like a big old scoop of hoopla. Yeah, baby. And this guy can talk about nothing. He just keeps talking and talking. That's because nobody's listening. And if they are, they're like, I've heard worse. I don't know. I never got anybody to listen before. Why would I start now? Why would it change now? Tell me, please. Why would it bloody change now? I don't know. I don't friggin' know. Okay, enough about me. Let's hear about you. What's been going on in your world? Anything? No? Alright, back to me. So anyways, October, Halloween. I have yet to dig up anything, well, not anything, but I have yet to dig up much Halloween stuff. And I think what I'll do is I'll dig up the Halloween stuff that I can find, and I'll put it on or as close to Halloween night as possible, right? So the extra radio shows that I do, I will try to dig up a Halloween slanted episode. The educational films that I dig up, I will try to have some kind of October or Halloween scary feel to it. It's the best I can do, you know? Now what I should probably do is try to transfer from these big giant videotapes back here and digitize them and dig up one of the little movies that my father created called Death Dream. Ooh, or Dead Man's House. See, those two right there. Perfect for October. So, in fact, I think we produced Dead Man's House in about October or November because of the Halloween mask that my father got, that he got from Hollywood, and the condition of the house. I think it was decorated for either Christmas or Thanksgiving. So I'll have to look into really seriously trying to set up an editing transfer station in here and get some shit moved over. You know, which means I got to bring in two machines. I got one here. I got to take it out, blow it out, clean it up, bring it in, clean the heads on it, make sure it's not sticky, and then do some tests, run some digitizing tests. Oh yeah. And hopefully it'll work. Hopefully. Oy. And I should have attempted this stuff years ago when I first got all this stuff. But I think had I done it then, I would have jumped the gun and would have uploaded stuff differently, and it wouldn't have been as fun. This way I can upload it, put it onto my editing program, and do something with it, and give it some more and some backstory. Yeah. So I can't, man, I can't wait to look at it again and transfer it, but it's scary business. So much so that I really would prefer to take it to somebody locally who does transfers, video transfers. It would probably cost an arm and a leg, but you know, what are you going to do? one tape at a time, 2 tapes at a time every couple of months or something. I don't know. I just don't know, man. We've held on to these tapes since the late 1970s, early 80s. So they're about 25 years old. I'm sorry, 45 years old. They're about 45 years old, these tapes. 20. Yeah, they're about 45 years old. So I get afraid when I have to put them into a machine and hit play. They don't rewind like normal tapes. You have to fucking put it in there and then rewind it. You know, I'm almost tempted to hand wind all of these things and just sit there and open it, put the thing in and keep it from clicking, and then just spin those things back by hand, right? Because putting it in the machine and then running it across the head to rewind it is a drag, because you're essentially playing it twice for no reason, and you're playing it backwards, and you're risking it getting jammed and tangled and stuff, and so that's probably a thing that I'll do, is I'll set up a little thing here and I will sit and I'll hand wind all of the tapes back to the beginning, forward them a little bit, and then and I have one test tape that I can use, and I think I have a color bar tape that's all color bars, like 2 test tapes. So I'll use those to make sure that the machines are functioning properly. I also bought brand new tapes that I can feed into the machine and test. Just push play and test and see if it eats the new tape. I'd rather eat a new tape than eat an old irreplaceable tape. And if I can get one of these machines to function good, I can use it to then record stuff onto, give it an age, and then bring it back and digitize it. That would be really neat. Yeah. The bummer is that doing stuff in here, essentially this is my living room. There's a tripod over there, and that tripod right there, that you see one arm of it, the other 2 arms, the other 2 legs bump up against the cabinet that essentially is that wall. So this lamp is in the middle of this room, just like that stereo there. So there's that, just a little bit more room over there. But this is my living room. So it's also my workstation, my office, my studio, everything. So if I have to set up a table in here, it's like I have to have a really good reason, because it's either got to get set up and taken down, or it's got to set up and stay. Either way, it's a pretty big ordeal. I got to move things out of the way. That's probably what I need to do right away, is set up that camera on a bracket so that it hangs off of my cabinet and is not on a tripod. Like the other 2 cameras one's on a shelf bracket, and one is on a shelf bracket extended with wood and built up with a camera tripod thing on top, so I can maneuver it around. So I need to put a camera bracket over here. That's going to free up that tripod and get it off my floor. And then, so I need to be able to push this table and stuff over there along with this chair, and put a fold-up table here, dress it up nice and pretty, and work on my stuff here. Because I can run my cables over to my mixer, or have that table run up here so close that the wires hang off the back there and around to my stuff. However, I do it. I'm going to have to just do it. I've been putting it off for years, and I need to do it. Time is tickety-tock ticking. Other things are going to pop up that are going to take my attention. Events are going to take place that are going to keep me from doing stuff. So, yeah. I got to get it done. I feel like this is the year to get shit done. You know? Like if I don't do it now, it may never get fucking done. You like my room? Look at these flowers. Aren't they pretty? They're pretty. They smell nice. Yeah. It's just so nice. It's kind of cool that they got almost identical flower shades. It's really cool. The pastels, yeah. Pastels. Genetically modified roses. You smell it and it's like, hey, that smells pretty. Ah. Ah. Totally. Yeah, I only used about half of the movies in that music video that I wanted to. He keeps going on about it. I can't help it. You know, when I do stuff that gets me pumped up, I stay pumped up. So I'm going to work on another video. Video Time Machine maybe, or elements to Video Time Machine. So I'm starting to get better at creating these little time trips, you know. It's not in the content because I see the same content all over YouTube. When I'm bringing this borrowed stuff, I see it everywhere. It's in how I'm bringing it to YouTube, the presentation. I'm not just saying, look, here's one little snippet of a movie or snippet of this or that or music video. Here's a collection of things that have to do with the show and the era that I'm coming to you from. And that's pretty much it, you know. And here's a little bounce through time. And I think I want to find better ways to do with a theme, you know. I can't help but want to bring music from the 1930s because that's where the nighttime nonsense and nostalgia show is. So I can't help but want to do that. I just can't help it. And then like the Felix the Cat cartoons. That's probably gonna, Felix the Cat, unless I get into a copyright situation, that's just gonna go through the run of the Video Time Machine. Every Video Time Machine will have a Felix the Cat. That'll just be the cartoon for the show, like the Simpsons were for what's your face. Yeah. So that'll be neat. I like doing the movie trailers, commercials, the little snippets of interviews and stuff from back then. That's neat, that's fun. I want to try to introduce myself into the show as a time traveler because it's a time machine and somebody has to be working the time machine from within in order to go from time to time. So I want to appear to be in those time periods on occasion. I want to pop up somewhere. It'll be kind of weird, kind of difficult to do, but I think I can handle that. I think I can use this studio here to create some elements that give you the feel of being back in time, you know. Yeah. One of the ideas I have for the video time machine coming up, if I can get the footage off of this stupid Apple phone, I try to upload it onto my computer. Computer doesn't recognize anything from this phone. So I'm going to have to get some kind of app or program or something that allows me to transfer this data to that data properly. And I don't know what is it, codecs to use? I don't know. You know, I'm going to have to get my daughter in here to help me upload something onto this and give it a try, because I need this freaking data. And once I get that, then I can get into some more of these elements that I want to introduce from the present, and use them to bump me to the past. You know, past, man. Totally. I want to do some more of these reel-to-reel recordings of my father's, because those are fun. Those are fun to listen to. Those shows that he did back then are what prompted me to do the Nighttime Nonsense and Nostalgia show. It's even his name, his title. So yeah, I want to bring out some more of those. What I might do is upload one that checks out just like my show, and play it live as my show, as him being a guest for that particular night, right? If I can do it, find an hour-long or almost an hour-long show where I can edit his stuff into it, right? His commercials, my commercials, his show, his music, him introducing everything. If I can find a show that doesn't have those damn copyright hits on it greater than my live show, then I'll do that. And have him as a guest DJ on my live show. That'd be fun. I'd like to do that. I don't know how long I'm going to do this nighttime nonsense and nostalgia. The video time machine may continue as its own show. It may evolve into the video time machine that transports us to the nighttime nonsense and nostalgia. I don't know. It's all organic, man. I'm just going to let it happen. However it feels good, I'm going to let it evolve into that. If I feel like I should take a show and let's just hit the road with this show, we've done enough episodes, then we'll move on. I mean, I've done over 100 of this season in this show right here. This is episode 106. Is that what it is? And, who? Tax tips? No tax tips, thank you. And this, we don't do tax tips here. I'm sure people need them, and I could probably use them on occasion, but not now. No, this is not this is not the venue for tax stuff. That would be somewhere else. So if you're stopping by thinking that's what this is, it's not. This is movies today. It's Monday, so yeah. Thank you, but no. Thank you, but no. No, this is my morning show where I sit here, drink coffee, smoke weed, and bullshit on the world. You want to do that? Right, it's Monday, so we're talking about movies. Tuesdays, we talk about TV. Wednesdays, we talk about old-time radio. Thursdays, Throwback Thursdays, we kind of do a kind of hodgepodge of yesterday's stuff. And then Flashback Fridays, where we actually try to, do something reminiscent of the past, if not. We should tax people. Tips. Tax we should tax people's tips. All right, once again, this is not the venue for that. Please be advised that this is a show about me, for me. It's my daily log in the world. And no, while I do pay my taxes, it's not something that I think about until then. So thank you, but no, once again. What do you think of that movie? Baked Awake. I don't know, Baked Awake. What movie are we talking about? My comments are a little slow. They get to me a little slow because they got to make a roundabout way and then come back. So when I'm seeing your comment, it's 15 to 30 seconds after you've written it. So be advised. But yeah, give me a movie title and we'll talk about it. If it's an older movie, I'm not into new movies. Anything made after, the mid-90s, I'm probably not familiar with. Am I Ra? Am I R-A? Am I racist? Oh, I don't know. Is that a movie? Or is that a question? I am not familiar with the movie Am I Racist? I don't watch new movies. I'm not a big fan of new movies and agendas and stuff. Matt Walsh was just on the JRE episode. Oh, okay. So this is like a new TV show thing. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just not familiar with it. Joe Rogan Experience, yeah. I don't watch Joe Rogan. I used to watch Joe Rogan, and then he got too intense, right? And then he got too mellow, and then he just got, I just don't watch Joe Rogan anymore. He's not a bad guy. He's just not, he's not something I need to put my time into. Yeah. That's just the way that goes. That's just the way that is. A mockumentary, Matt Walsh made the film. Cool. Mockumentaries, huh? Spinal Tap, there's a good mockumentary. If that's what you want to call it. I guess that would be one of the earliest mockumentaries. Are you familiar with Spinal Tap? Yeah, I will check out the Am I Racist? It's like Borat, okay. Oh, Borat. Oh, I get it, Borat. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of, that humor there, Borat humor. That actor, whatever, I can't remember his name. He was in that, The Demon Barber of Fleet Street. Do I use a wired internet connection? Why? Why is my signal coming through weird? Do I? It's better than that Jewish actor's film? Jewish actor. I'm not familiar with who you're talking about. Okay. No, it's... I mean, I just have standard cable, you know. I got to get on, and then I got to put my phone on the modem, and then I dial up, and it goes... And then I go through AOL, and it works fine. Yeah. Well, thank you.
I appreciate the feedback on the tech.
Yeah, I use old school technology here.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. I hate it when this thing's not working right. Yeah, I'm streaming using a computer, a Commodore 64.
Yes, sirree.
I've got the double memory, right?
Yes, sir. That's right, 64 bits. Coming to you live.
When I first started doing this, I was using, yeah, I know I've got my laptops running through cables going into my modem. Of course, there are a couple of things in the house that use Wi-Fi. I still need to run cables to my TVs, so they're not doing Wi-Fi stuff. But yeah, I used to use an old 1999 2000s Sharp camcorder, high 8. I used to just have that hardwired in, and I used that for my webcam for a while, because I don't like the standard you know, the standard webcams, dearie, because they're just kind of hokey. They're kind of hokey, dearie, you know. And well, see, here, take a look at this. I mean, and they're kind of glitchy and staticky and stuff, and yeah, they don't work for me. So I was using that other camera, a little. I wonder where it is. Oh, it's under my bed over there. Hey, why don't I get it and show it to you? Oh, hey there. Am I Canadian? No, I use a lot of funny voices when I talk.
He's gotta be kidding me. Are you serious?
Hey, Marge, he's talking funny again.
Leave him alone, Harry.
Dude, that's awesome. No, I'm from Southern California. Born and raised. Born and raised, Southern California. From Barstow. No, I grew up in Southern California. Lake Elsinore, California is my hometown, even though I'm not actually from there. I was born in Los Angeles. L.A. General. Alaskan, like Sarah Palin. Sarah Palis shoe stores. No, let me grab a camera. Here, check this out. Oh, wait, not that. Check this out. Yeah. So, yeah, let me grab a couple of things here. Hi, baby. How's it going, baby? Back to your bed. Go ahead. Go back to bed. Okay. There, I'm back, baby. All right, let's see. What are the interesting? Where are you talking? Oh, see, now you're getting into politicians and politics and stuff. Once again, that's not my bag, baby. That's not my bag, baby. Yeah, you know, and I usually don't waste my time thinking about those kinds of people. Are you high at 9? Like 9 in the morning? Because it's 7 in the morning here. And if that's what we're talking about, then yeah, I'm 9 at like 4:30 in the morning here. Because that's what about when I get up at 4. I'm out of bed at 4:20. I'm making coffee at 4:30. I'm going live at 4:30 for my pre-show. I just put on an old-time radio show and go live. And then I use that half hour between 4:30 and 5 to get my coffee ready, to go to the restroom, get straightened up, and then 9 to 3 a.m. where you're at? Oh wow, but you showed me the pic of JFK? JFK? Who's JFK? And RFK. Oh, these guys. Right. Ah! Oh, so you're talking... What do you think of Section 230? I don't know what the hell Section 230 is. I showed you these things here because this is part of my nostalgic thing here, where my mother had that tapestry when I was a child. And I remember that being a part of our household. Reagan is there because I've spent my teen years in the Reagan era. You know, I even had government Reagan cheese. I mean, you know, yeah. That it doesn't necessarily say that I am Republican or Democrat or any of that, because I'm not. I would prefer to vote for the best person for the job, not that there is any best people anymore. So let's see. It's about free speech and websites such as YouTube. 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Let's see. That's kind of tough for me to do, watch stuff, because I don't have a schedule. I don't watch much of what goes on in the world. My wife does. My daughter is a university student, so she's out in the world. They hear about these things. I hear enough to know that I don't want to know anything. I'm done. I'm over it. You know, I'm 56 years old. I gave it my all for most of my life, trying to make a positive change in the world, and the shitstorm just got too big for me to deal with. You know, unfortunately, yeah, I've been beaten down. A publisher label for the things they publish, but have full control over what they publish. Wow. All right. Like I said, I don't watch the news. I don't do commercial television. I don't watch news programs. I don't watch news websites. I don't watch news channels. I don't watch news on YouTube. I don't watch any news pertaining to anything in the world other than some weather, which it's hard to believe any of that now. I just don't. It's not that I don't believe it. It's not that I have any of these conspiracy theories against any of this shit. I've just had it. I'm done with it. You know, my life at this point is short enough where I don't need that. You know, I've got I've got a million things going on in my life right now, the least of which is having to worry about what people are saying in the news and what politicians are doing. Yeah, liable. They take the... Well, see, yeah, you're getting into all this minutia of inner politics and corporate bullshit, and that's not my thing. It really isn't. It's you know, if you're out there and you're going to do that stuff and champion for people and get people rallying for that, that's great. But I don't have time to go there. I really don't. You know, I've been there. I tried that for 10 years. I was busting my ass to make a difference. I would literally, you know, send emails and make signs and march and do, and you know what? Well, I'm pro free speech, you know, but what am I going to do up against entities that have control over everything already? You know, it's already been written. You know, our future has already been written by these dickheads. You know, it's just the way it is. You know, it don't matter who you vote for. It's already been figured out ahead of time. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not gonna get into politics or details of any of this, because it just, you know, not with the rest of my life. With my remaining days, I'm not going to be concerning myself with lies and bullshit. I'm just not. You know, for some people that's their whole life, and you know, good on you. But I can't waste my time thinking about things and worrying about things that ultimately I'm not going to be able to change. All right, look at news broadcasts from 40, 50 years ago. Nothing has changed but the names and the places. All right, the same bullshit goes on. They're still controlling us. We're still modern slaves. We still have no choice in anything, regardless of what they do to make us think that we have a choice. We don't, you know. And no, so I choose not to play. I choose not to play along, you know. Wow, it seems like you got a pretty heavy agenda, Baked Awake, you know. That's great, but my agenda is more of family, friends, entertainment, music, not politics, not taxes, not the Constitution that's been destroyed from 24 years ago. You know, we gave up our rights when we bought into the bullshit that they threw at us, and we keep buying into the bullshit, so they keep selling it, so they keep controlling us. So no, I don't want to go there, man. I don't want to sit here and talk about these people and how they do this and how they do that. And I can't keep reading that, because it does not interest me in the slightest, and it just connects me to a world that I'm not a part of, you know. So once again, if you want to talk movies, let's talk old movies. You know, I just watched Point Break with Patrick Swayze and Gary Busey and Keanu Reeves. I gotta heat that up. So if you want to talk, let's talk about movies. Later, alligator. Peace out. Right on, man. Have a good one. I hope you have good luck on your journeys, navigating through this bullshit of a world we live in. Good luck trying to change it. That's why I go into the past. I live in the past because this bullshit I cannot handle. You know, I come from a completely different world. I am reverse Van Winkle. I went to sleep and woke up 40 years ago, man. And I'm in the past looking at this world going, what the fuck is going on, man? So I can't I can't get along with what's happening here. So I try, and I just don't deal with it, you know. I tried and I just cannot go there anymore. I can't. I want to talk politics, you know. Let's talk old politics. Let's talk about, you know, the same shit that was going on 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, 50 years ago. Same shit fucking going on, you know. It just had a different face. That's it, you know. We were still over there in the Middle East fucking up, turning them guys into fucking terrorists, you know. We were still getting gouged for fucking food and gas prices back then, you know. It was all the same fucking bullshit, just a different fucking face. It's really sad that things haven't changed much at all, yet people are so convinced they have, you know. You start erasing the past, and we're doomed to repeat it. At this point, we're fucking doomed. Nobody wants to have any connection to the past. And then you see those videos on YouTube connected to the past, right? And it's these videos of old photographs and a lot of computerized renderings of old things, structures and monuments and things from the past. And we're supposed to look at them like, how could we possibly have built something way back then, you know? Or as the city was being rebuilt after the San Francisco earthquake, how it looked devastated and brand new at the same time, right? And they're trying to say that you know, others built this, and we're living in a land that others built, and it's like, oh, they just have no conception of fucking reality, you know. Oh my goodness. Well, that was I don't know, that was a little worrisome there for a minute with Baked Awake. I was kind of happy to have someone to talk to, but at the same time, what an agenda. Somebody who's, you know, every thought is consumed by these things, that's not healthy. I know, because when I first got onto YouTube, for several years, I jumped down so many rabbit holes that I was starting to believe every single thing, you know, that I was told to, and it wasn't healthy. And I did have an agenda, and I did have things that I believed in and I fought for, and I literally was a guy who was taking cameras out and making signs and setting up a camera and marching, and it was like, I did these things, and then I think it was good that I recorded myself doing these things, because once I looked back at the videos and saw myself with the sign in my hand out there with all of these other people, only then did I realize that it was a fruitless battle, all right? The only thing that I was doing was trying to change things the way that they wanted us to try to change things, right? Which means that they're only going to allow us to make changes they know we cannot change. They're gonna allow us to march in the streets and to hold signs and do all of this because they know that's not what changes things. It's a feel-good thing. That's what it does. It makes you feel like you're making a change. It does nothing. All right? Change happens when people get up and actually do things to change. That's it. You know, being vigilant with your leaders and your politicians, writing letters, filling the office with letters, flooding the computers with emails, making appointments with these people, and discussing these things with them in person. This is what changes things, all right? Having people that rely on you for a positive and intellectual choice, right? And then they, the politicians, knowing that you have many, many people who wait for you to make that decision before they will make a decision, okay? Then that politician is answering to you, and they're answering to you because they want you and those followers as voters, right? So as a constituent, you have more power than you think. When you elect these people who are just in it for themselves, you're pretty much screwed. And that's all we get now. All we get are people who are in it for themselves. And there's not really much that we can do to make a change at that point, other than get somebody in who will fight for us. And that don't happen too much anymore either. You can't find those people, because everybody's in it for themselves. What's in it for me? What am I going to get out of it? Why do you think these douchebags want to be president? Right? Either side. Because they know that they're pretty much going to have whatever they want from then on out. You know, they're pretty much set. And especially if they're business people and they can set things up so that when they're done in the White House, they're rocking. You know? Yeah. Anyways, arg. Arg. Totally, man. Totally man. Man. Totally. Well, gosh, I thought I was going to have somebody to talk about movies with, and Baked and Awake just want to talk about politics, and that's just not my bag, baby. Taxes and politics and government and news and media and that stuff, it's just not where I'm at. That's a today thing. That's a today person thing. And I'm not a today person. I'm a yesterday person. So today people are into that. And you know, if that's going to get you somewhere and make an actual change in the world and not just have you chasing your tail, because that's what they want you to do. And if it's going to get some positive change, then gosh, good luck. I hope it works. But I've been down that rabbit hole, and I've chased my tail. And, you know, maybe it was just me, but I didn't get anything out of it. I didn't get one fucking thing out of it. Other than additions to my ulcer and pains and, you know, anxieties, emotions that I didn't want to deal with. Right? Teddy. Yeah. Well, I will definitely check out those movies, that movie that is suggested, because that's what I do. I said I would, and even though it's a newer movie, I'll check it out. Yeah. Totally, man. Tally. I am getting a little excited about the whole Minecraft thing. Is it going to work? Am I going to be able to do my show tonight? Am I going to get it set up and it's going to work fine, and then I'm going to play for half an hour and it's going to crap out? I don't know. So I've got to have a goal. And hopefully she's freed up a couple of 100 megabytes, which should be fine, as long as I don't do too much building and exploring. I need to stick to the areas that I'm at and build and explore. Well, just explore, really. I think I've done enough building for now. I do have another village that I need to encircle with walls and hopefully repopulate. I think there's only 1 or 2 villagers. Yeah. Yeah, Minecraft. You know what? I think the biggest issue that I'm running into with my studio here is memory. The memory is dwindling. I'm doing okay on this one here, this new laptop, the live one. So I'm using it to create videos, but once I create them, I usually like to push them over onto an external hard drive, and I'm running out of space there. I'm just about out of space on this computer. What I really need is a desktop with just ultra megabytes, gigabytes, ultra, terabytes is what I need. I need something with like a 20 terabyte hard drive. That's what I need. That would be great. Let's see what we got here. Let's see, here's a gaming PC and 1 terabyte SSD, 16 gigabytes. Yeah, see, that's why these things are expensive. And the bummer is that they go out of date so damn quick anymore. go. Well, there's one with 1 terabyte. And 16 gigs for $233. But it is a refurbished. Is that what it is? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, huh? Windows 10. That's okay. So there's an option, I guess. Forget about getting a slightly older, refurbished computer, because the programs that I'm running, that I'm operating on, are Windows 10 and Windows 11, respectively, and you know, I'm used to those programs. So the operating programs would be all of the same stuff that I'm used to, which would be fine. That'd be just fine. So a couple of $100, I just gotta come up with a couple $100, right? Jeez. If I was young or healthier, at least healthier, I would just do one of those gig things, you know, be an Uber driver or deliver stuff until I get the money to do it, and then just be done with it. Or if business around here was busier, well, then it just wouldn't matter because I'd be working every day. Or on average every other day, which doesn't happen right now. Pretty much doing a whole lot of nothing most of the week. Most weeks. Sometimes nothing. That's a bummer. Alright. Don't think about stuff. Just makes it worse. Just makes the pain worse. Makes it all worse. Yeah. Am I gone? Well, half an hour to go. Half an hour to go. And then I can go. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? My daughter should be up soonish to get ready for school. She got to go off to the university at noonish. So she should be up by 10ish. To get ready to go. I'll just put a cooler together with a few snacks, since they're going to be having lunch and probably dinner while they're out. So I'll be here most of the evening, most of the day, most of the late afternoon. I'll be here. Afternoon. I'll be here all afternoon alone. I don't know what I'm going to do. I guess Video Time Machine. I got 1 million Post-its. I'm going to have to go through Post-its and start looking for yeah. What I need to do is some consolidation. I need to put all of my show graphics and my show openings and my show descriptions and stuff in the Word programs. I need to put copies of all of those in one folder over here, so that when I'm starting my show, whatever show it is, I open up one file and I grab the elements from there. That's it. Copy and paste. Open this picture. Copy and paste this. Bada find myself looking around, where did I put this damn picture, this graphic? Why is this one too big now? It's not the same one, damn it. So I need to get into that. So I need about $100 for a new external hard drive that's 4 terabytes. And then I need about $300, $300 or $400 for a new desktop. And then if I network all of these things together correctly with shared memory, I should be able to keep these laptops pretty free of memory and working faster. Going to heat it up again. Hey. What are you going to do about it, eh? Totally.
Not much, that's what.
Okay, so let's see. I am going to be working on Minecraft this morning at some point here. I should probably try to get on before my daughter leaves the house so that I can see if there's any issues opening up that program. And I don't know if it's just you're only allowed so many per game and I've just blown it. I don't know. Which, if that's the case, then what I'll have to do is archive that thing and start anew, and which is fine, you know, because it'll be more adventurous, and it doesn't necessarily have to be about this one particular world. And then I'll just change the graphics a little bit at the end so that we see that it is a different world. And I'll change the graphics at the beginning so that we can kind of see that it's a different world. Yeah, so that should be interesting. Baked and awake. Ah, someone whose eyes are open. I get it, you know. And, you know, if that's it, if that's your thing, you gotta have an agenda, you know, make it a good one, right? Just make it a good one. And make it pro-human, pro-humanity, pro-planet. And try not to buy into the crap that they're trying to sell you, man. Don't do it, man. Don't do it. Alright, let's see. So we want to get highways. Highway numbers. That's it. pretty much what we need to do. We need to map out highways this way, north to south, and then highways west to east, right? Take all of these coordinates, put them down on the map, put them in the key, give them a number that corresponds with their actual longitude or latitude or altitude. Oh, so this week I'm planning for the first week of October, so I've got to have some kind of October theme going on. So maybe I'll add some holiday elements to some of the openings and closings of some of my stuff. I don't know, who knows? You never know, man. Could be cool. Yeah. All right, I gotta figure out how to do a switch memory upgrade. Switch. Okay. Okay. Man. I get myself into too many things. And then I have to make decisions. All right, what am I going to do? Am I going to do this and not this and this and this? Frederick. North. South. Okay. And then highway numbers, east to west, west to east. Okay. And we will take these coordinates and write them all down. And that'll be pretty basic. I can just run down a road, jot down a coordinates, run down a road, jot down a coordinates. And then I can take all of that, transfer it onto a graph paper, get it all worked out ahead of time, and then transfer all of that information onto the actual map, and then get it all on there, and then ink it, and then color it, and then at some point I may go back and draw in some not-to-scale land elements, right? A little water, a little, green, a little white, a little ice, whatever. Try to give it a little bit of sporadic color here and there, right? What the hell? It's a big area that's all desert, like a whole map that's all desert. That'd be a big chunk of area that would be just desert with a few little water spots and then water around it. I don't really want to get into land because then that signifies, absolutes, and I don't want to get into that. I like leaving it not to scale with just lines and squares and stuff. And then in those squares, I think I'll put numbers. of on a key that say what those numbers are. You know, a village, a farm, a ranch, a house, a mine. And then have roads labeled with a number that's part of their particular orientation. The lines going this way will have that number, or at least one of the numbers that's on that line if the road changes a little bit. The greatest amount of the road that's on that number. Yeah. So that'll be neat, and get that map worked out, and then scan a copy of it so that we can look at it. I can bring it up and we could look at it. I can use my cursor to show where we're at on the map and where we're going. That'd be cool. And then probably open up a new world and create a new map from scratch. You know. That would be cool. I might have some oversized graph paper around from a blotter that I had a long time ago. I'll have to look into that, because that would be great to start off with and make each square on that graph paper like, I don't know, 500 blocks one way, 500 blocks the other way in each square. So that way you can really get a lot into each map. So I think it's going to be something like that, where I will have to say, okay, look, this is the distance between here and here, so it's got to be 1 block away or 2 blocks away because of the amount that it is. If it's greater than this, then it's got to be this block. If it's lesser than that, it's got to be that block. Right? And then draw squares on the graph paper that are completely offset from the squares that are there. So we use the lines on the graph paper as the roads, and then put a square around a crossroads to say this is this, because usually a crossroads will be at a village or a mine or a farm or something, and usually the roads coming in will only be 10 or 20 squares off coming in and out, so they can usually be called the same road. Anybody following this? I have no idea what you're saying, dude. Well, good, because I'm almost out of here anyway. And then I gotta figure out what to do. It's been a few days since I've Minecrafted, so I'll probably be anxious to do that. I might sneak into my daughter's room and grab it. But I should probably wait until she wakes up, fearing that I'll drop something and wake her up early. That would suck. So yeah, I'll probably wait. I'll probably sit in here and watch one of these movies that I scrounged, or create a video or something. Probably both. I'll probably set something up to watch and then work on something creatively that's gonna get me somewhere on my channel here. I've got to deal with t-shirts this week. Hopefully I'm going to get somewhere on t-shirts this week. If I can get me a couple of samples, I can start getting some orders in and start paying for some t-shirts, some t-shirt production. The plan that I told her that seems to work out with them is that I want to sell as many t-shirts as it takes to fill one order, and then have that order made to order in blocks, so that I can say, okay, I've got this many orders for that shirt, let's make that many shirts and a couple extra. And then once I get that block of shirts paid for, that run of shirts, we can continue to sell those shirts, but we can also start selling other shirts. As soon as we get this block of shirts paid for, this run of shirts, we move on, introduce more shirts. And at some point, we'll start to make money set aside for, my first thing is to get us the music, the entertainment, and then the venue. Mainly the entertainment money first, because the venue money is something that's going to come hopefully from the people who are coming to the thing, and that will be determined later. And then size-wise, if we hold it at a campground, it's easy. I'll just say, okay, look, we're going to reserve this area, and the money will start coming in as the people show up, right? And that'll be that. So if I can show that, yes, this is the band that's coming, they're paid for, they're ready to be here, and, you know, we're going to start doing shirts now for the rest of the cause, you know, all the other shit that we got to deal with. If it's at a campground, we got to deal with generators and bathrooms and food and, you know, other camping stuff and a stage and lights, and it's going to get pretty heavy. Yeah. All right, coffee. I'm going to heat this up really good. I'll be right back. Big girl. You was just scaring me. I didn't know where you were. But I should have known you were right behind me. Alrighty. So look, it's just about time to wrap this show up. Unbelievably, it's almost 8 here on the Pacific Coast. Pacific Standard Time. So yeah, we're going to drink some more coffee, do a couple of more hits, and then hit the road. And I didn't get to do too much cleaning here over the weekend, so I'll probably try to knock out a few things this week and try to declutter this room and get it ready to set up a table to do some video transfer. And I'll just put it like that, video transfer. Okay, ready. So what I'll do is I'll start pulling things out that I need to do that, cleaning things up, getting things ready, and then figure out how to shoehorn in here a little workstation for that stuff. You know, maybe I'll just utilize this table here to put a machine on and bring it right here. And then I'm kind of in the same area here. The machine has no cover on it, so I like to use it like that, and then I'll keep it opened up, pull one of the boards up and keep it propped open so that I can see the actual tape moving and make sure that if something happens, I catch it right away, because they're old machines and old tapes. So yeah, I'm probably gonna set up a movie, put a movie on, and then do a little bit of editing. I think I'll go back and I'll fix that video. the little elements I need to change in that video and make it right, the music video, and then re-upload it after I get the checks figured out, and then make that one public. Since there are a few little glitches in this one, even though it's like my 5th or 6th version of it saved, with just variations, little tiny little things altered. So I need to alter it a little more and fix a couple of things that changed when I altered. Yep. So that'll be that. And then I've got to start dealing with content for next week. I'm pretty sure I have it all. I just have to upload it. So today I will probably upload X-1s for next week. And then tomorrow the next radio shows and so on. Try to get it done early. Try to get a video time machine done early so that I can get it uploaded this week and have it ready for next week, since I already have one ready for this week. And then hopefully, nothing will pop up to keep me from doing a show. I didn't do Friday's show because of the weather. The weather was just crazy out here, and I was really afraid that I was going to lose my signal during the storm, right during my video time machine. During the audio portion, if the signal wavers, it doesn't screw with the audio so much as it does slow the video frames down, right? But when you're doing the video portion of the show, freezing the frame and glitches, and then the audio, and it just gets bad. It's just horrible. So it's like, I'm not going to risk it. It's a live thing. I'm not going to risk it. We were preempted by the weather, period. So I left it at that and didn't do a show Friday. In fact, I just went to bed early. I didn't have a video game to play. My wife wasn't here to watch movies with. A little reading, a little TV, and I was out. I did so much reading recently that I'm just about done with my book. I started listening to a book on my computer, piped into my stereo. State of Fear, Michael Crichton. And 2004, I think. And I'm just about finished reading The Boys by Ron Howard and Clint Howard, which has been a fun read. I'm ready to find something else by either one of these guys at this point. So I want to finish this, and then I want to get into, I may do a science fiction. And then go from a science fiction into a documentary, biographical. I've got this Wounded Knee books here that I want to check out and do something like that, because at some point I do want to do a little documentary on Wounded Knee if I'm so allowed the time, and a few other things, some more Elsinore stuff. Okay, let's do, I just had this idea for, I might as well put it on next month's calendar here. There you go. I just figured out the open for that Elsinore Brothers and Sisters show. From Corona to Bonsall was pretty much our stomping grounds. Into the city here and over the hill here, and all the highway in between. Old 395 turned into Highway 15. So I think I'm going to cover the bases along that highway. Oh, I wish I had a swap meet photo. Really wish I had a swap meet photo from back then. I'm going to have to recreate something. If I can't find something, I'm going to have to recreate something, make a drawing of signs, you know, get people's input on what things looked like, and try to get, you know, try to get some kind of image that represents that swap meet. Yep. And let me go ahead and do maybe I can still use their time travel thing on Google Earth and take satellite pictures and go back. You know, if I can go back far enough and just grab something that resembles the swap meet footprint. Oh, I'd be so happy. Something. Anything, really. Please. Something. Something, yeah. Well, it looks like my time here has come to an end. I will be checking back with you on, well, this evening. I'll be back this evening, because that's when I'm coming back. That's when I'm coming back. I'm coming back tonight. Minecraft Monday, coming back tonight. Alright, people, take care of yourselves. You know what to do. Be kind to each other. Spread peace and love. Don't spread bullshit. Go out and do something for yourself, but as well, try to do something for somebody else, because we're not alone out there, right? Alright, people, take care of yourselves. Don't believe the bullshit. Don't get wrapped up in shit so much you forget about yourself. I will be speaking to you tonight, but until then, stay weird, because if you ain't weird, ain't nobody gonna do it for you. Alright, people, love ya. Adios.